right, so I think let's start with Gio Reyna at Borussia Dortmund right now. I don't think that it's quite his time to come to to start in the first team yet.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, So I know they had first game in the Bundesliga against Mönchengladbach this season. I don't think he gets to start in that. And
especially, since Mönchengladbach is a top team.
And they're consistently one of the better teams in the Bundesliga, So I can see him maybe as a consistent late game sub kind of deal, but I don't think that he's ready yet.
Yeah, most definitely not for that type of high competition yet, but he's definitely proven he can be the young star. They played this past week in the first round of the German Cup, and he scored in their game against Duisburg, and it didn't really matter. Dortmund ended up crushing them, winning 5-0.
But still, I mean, it's
still a nice goal. It's nice to see him score.
And he came in the Champions League a couple times last year. Had some pretty meaningful minutes actually in Champions League for Dortmund. He came in as a sub. So I don't know. I think you can see that they have faith in him coming up. And I think, especially for the U.S. men's national team, I think he should be getting a chance soon.
Oh, most
because he hasn't capped yet for the first team, for the senior team.
Yeah.
But I think soon he's going to get that chance.
Yeah.
And I think he should, because he's been playing good. I think consistently when he comes in.
Yeah, especially at such a high level that is Dortmund as well.
He just can't take Sancho's spot. I mean, that's just never going to happen.
Of course. I think it would have been great for Sancho to leave, and so Reyna would have gotten that opportunity. But of course,
that's
Sancho
true,
stayed, and so now Reyna has to stay another year in a position that he was in, and he won't really get the same opportunities he would have gotten if Sancho had left. And so I think that's, Sancho not leaving is obviously a good thing for Dortmund. Dortmund's love to have Sancho, but it's a bad thing for Reyna due to the fact that Reyna now is not able to get that playing time. It would have been great for him to develop.
Yeah. I think at the same time, though, I think if you see Sancho leave Dortmund, I think they almost have to go. Not have to, but I think they're not. I think they're going to sign somebody else in place of Sancho before they put Reyna in.
Yeah,
he'll start playing at first, but I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, they obviously won't be able to sign someone as good as Sancho. So Reyna will get more opportunities than he would if he was sharing time with Sancho.
He'll for sure make more appearances, I think, and have more of an impact within the team.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, and now let's move on to Josh Sargent, who scored in their first round game in the German Cup
for Werder Bremen.
For Werder Bremen, he scored the winning goal. Or the go-ahead goal, which was the winning goal. And, I think Josh Sargent is really such an important U.S. player overseas because he is really at one of the weaker U.S. men's team's position, which is the striker position.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, right now, the main strikers you have for the men's national team are all in the MLS. There's Jay Zardes from Columbus Crew. You got Josie Altidore from Toronto. You even have other people like Jeremy Bobasy on the Timbers. And so striker is kind of that role that needs to be filled, especially since Altidore is getting kind of up there in age, and there's kind of this gap there. And if Sargent can really play well on Werder Bremen and be able to kind of show that he can play at that high level, then that would be great for the men's national team.
Which I think actually because Josie Zardes right now for Columbus is playing out of his mind. I mean, he's one of the best strikers in the league right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually probably motivating Josh Sargent a little bit too. Yeah. Obviously they're not in the same league, but I think seeing that from his competitor on the national team for the starting spot. I think that's probably because I think this year I've got you can go.
No.
Okay. For Bremen this year, I've heard that Sargent's going to get the starting spot now because at the end, their most important game of the season last year in the relegation playoff, he got the start in that game, and they ended up winning and they stayed in the Bundesliga obviously. Yeah. But I think this year he's going to get the start and I think he's going to have a pretty big impact for Bremen.
Yeah, especially if Zardes keeps playing the way he did, Sargent's going to see that and know that if he plays bad, he's going to end up losing his spot.
Yeah.
And, with the summer of 2021, there's going to be so many international events that Sargent's obviously going to get the main spot in one of them. But of course, the main thing is getting that World Cup spot.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And so, right now, I think it'll probably go. The World Cup spot right now would probably go to someone like Zardes or Altidore.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think that if Sargent has a strong season in the Bundesliga and shows his worth, he can grab that World Cup spot.
He's got a shot, yeah. And especially there's still, I think it's probably a little bit less than 10 months now until qualifying starts for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I think that's plenty of time for him to show what he can do in the Bundesliga as a starter in this team, which I think this Werder team, I don't think they're going to be very good in the Bundesliga this year.
No.
Because they weren't good last year. They haven't got many people that come in, they haven't had many big signings that come into their team, make them any better. But I don't know. I think
that's why it's even better for him if he plays well. It shows that he can play well without any creators around him. But then if he shows that he can play well, then of course he can play well when he's Christian Pulisic on the wing, and he has the good midfielders and good defenders that can kind of build around.
He's the kind of guy that he's not necessarily gonna drop back as much. I don't think, and I don't know, because he's not like a Josie Altidore. Josie Altidore is kind of like the center man up top, and they play balls into him. He needs service. And I think Sargent's kind of in between, where he's not necessarily going to play like almost like a Felipe Mora, where he's going to be like dropping back in, trying to play off guys necessarily. He's going to be he's that in between. I think he's a good link between the midfield and the attack, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. All right.
All right. Next American we got to talk about is Conrad De La Fuente.
Yeah, huge.
Who became the first American player to play for FC Barcelona.
For their first team.
Yeah, for the first team.
Which is that's a pretty big debut.
That is a pretty big debut. And he almost got a goal. The ball went in the back of the net.
He scored a goal, but
it was ruled offsides,
Yeah. He's almost like Gio Reyna. I can't see him getting a chance yet.
I can't, especially, well, I mean, that's not even like, that's kind of expected. Yeah. You know, he's not like, he's not good enough to obviously break into that team. But the fact of the matter is he's there and he's training with those people. And that's such a big experience.
Yeah, he's
training
in the first
with people
like, for sure,
like Messi and Griezmann, and to be training with those people and seeing how a high level team like Barcelona trains and how they work and how people interact. And he can bring that, even at such a young age, he can kind of bring that to the men's national team and kind of show those things there and kind of show that he has that high level experience.
Yeah, and I think right now with all the turmoil around Barcelona, you know, they're trying to not rebuild, but they're like in the phase going into maybe rebuild kind of thing. So that could almost work in his favor again, where maybe he gets some more minutes, where I think in the past 2 or 3 years, there's no way he gets on the first team this year. So, I don't know. I think that's probably a good thing for him. And I think he'll probably get a couple minutes here and there, because he's solidly on the first team now. He's been training with the first team for weeks. So I think, maybe he makes a couple substitute appearances throughout the season. Maybe almost like how Gio Reyna got some minutes this past season with Dortmund.
Might grab a couple starts in the early round of the cups.
Oh yeah, some cup games. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I just don't see. He hasn't capped for the national team yet.
Yeah.
I think, right? So I don't know if he's even ready for the national team yet. I think he's still.
But that's still like such an important building piece to have.
That's why I think he's going to be one for the future for sure.
Yeah.
Because especially if he keeps consistently playing with Barcelona, I think he can build up to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So let's go. Oh, okay. So then a big transfer out of the Bundesliga. We got Weston McKennie moving to play with Cristiano Ronaldo at Juventus. Yeah, which is huge.
That is an absolutely huge thing to have that sort of player. And I mean, it looks like he's going to play like quite a bit, because Juventus' midfield is a little shaky. And it's obviously a friendly, but he started their past friendly.
Yeah.
That was on.
He played pretty well in that friendly. Yeah. And I don't know. I think he for sure, because I know he ended the season captaining Schalke actually in the Bundesliga, and Schalke had an awful season. Yeah. Or had an awful season after the restart, I guess you could say. They had, and then they just fell off, which I don't think was really his. I don't think you can put that on him.
No.
But that's a whole team. Their whole system just kind of broke down, I guess. But I think somebody like McKennie is for sure going to come in and I think be one of the staples for the national team in the next couple seasons for sure.
Yeah, most definitely that staple in the midfield.
Alongside like Christian Pulisic, guys like that,
But I mean, that's such a huge thing, is that, you know, it was a transfer to Juventus as well. It was a team buying him. It wasn't like he came up through the youth ranks. The team went out and searched for and wanted this American midfielder.
Which that's really, probably the second biggest transfer for an American in recent times, I would say, after Pulisic. Yeah, so that's huge for.
I think John Brooks of Wolfsburg was right around that amount.
Yeah, that's true.
He was right around that amount,
but I think
still
the significance of it just feels more significant. Like he's gonna actually get some. Not that John Brooks doesn't have. He's getting significant.
John Brooks was a little older when that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it was kind of like a star like in his prime was going to Wolfsburg at this amount, but this is another young player that has a lot of room to grow that is going to.
And McKennie just has a higher ceiling. I think right now.
Most definitely.
And same with I think I can see somebody like Gio Reyna transferring, having that similar kind of transfer in his near future. Because what is he, 18, 17?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I could see So in the near future, that kind of transfer for some of these guys, and that's why I think the Bundesliga is a great place for these guys that are ending up in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Because I mean, all of them, you see, it just provides them with a platform to show off themselves, I guess, to the international soccer community. And
I mean, the biggest one was Christian Pulisic, who went from who went to the Dortmund like youth teams and went up through the ranks and got his first team appearances and went to Chelsea for 70 million, and now he's with all the signings Chelsea's made, he's one of their best players now.
Oh no, I think he's still this season. I know he didn't start the first game, but I think he's going to be in the top 3.
Well, we should point out he didn't start because he was recovering.
Well, yeah, he still got an injury coming in. Yeah, but I think he's going to be in the top 3 attackers this season for sure. I mean,
him, Werner, Ziyech, and Havertz are going to be.
Yeah, I think those are the top 4 for sure. Yeah. But I think Christian Pulisic will have. I think between him and Werner, they're going to have the biggest impact in the Chelsea team.
If he can stay healthy, that's always been a big problem with Pulisic staying healthy. But like we saw in the restart, if Pulisic is healthy and he's on it, he's something special.
Oh yeah, he was for sure Chelsea's best attacking player in the restart, which is why
he scored or assisted in all but 2 games since the restart.
Yeah, which is crazy stat.
Yeah,
and before he was okay. I think before the restart.
Well, I think the crazy thing was that he scored a hat trick in like one of the early games of the season, and then kind of just
in the Champions League
was a dud, and then just kind of stopped, and then he got injured, and then he came back, and he had another little injury, and then
his injuries definitely didn't help him this season. That's for sure. Yeah,
I mean, it's been the past couple seasons that he's had injuries like this. And that's always been his biggest problem, is just staying healthy. But if he can stay healthy, he's definitely going to be the star of the men's national team. And
for sure, he already is.
Yeah, I mean he already is, but on this big stage, because Pulisic really missed out on that World Cup.
Oh yeah,
that the men's national team failed to qualify for, because that he would have been this young star on a world stage leading this men's national team, and missed that opportunity. And luckily, he played well enough at Dortmund where he still got that $70 million. But if he played in the World Cup and he played well, that transfer only goes out more.
Bigger, and I think that's why this year, or this next World Cup, not this year, but when the qualifying starts this next year, this next World Cup is huge for the US, for all these guys, because all these guys need that international recognition.
And they're going to blow their transfer value up.
If they have a bad World Cup, then that's different. But I think just getting there in the first place is huge.
And I think we should point out the fact that it's not even a guarantee. We still don't know. These are still a lot of young players that are good, but still the international level is, kind of different than club, and it's much higher expectations, at least for some, because, Sargent's coming from Werder Bremen, where it's like, they don't really win a lot, but when you come to the men's national team, it's like, we kind of need to qualify for the World Cup, and some players don't know how to play at this high level, especially since they're so young, and I think that's a worry, is the fact that since they're so young, maybe some of them aren't ready to, kind of drive through and don't really know what it takes yet. Because, like, some people are going to be making, like, their first, like, big appearances. And so, I mean, they should qualify. I mean, if they don't qualify, it'll be even worse than 2018.
At this point, I can't see that.
I think they should qualify, because now they can easily beat, teams like Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, that's what
they
said
should.
Last
They
time
should
too.
be. That is what they said last time. But this team is just so much more explosive, so much more better. In all positions, we've got pretty much younger and better.
It's just a younger team.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
I mean, it's a little better. It's a little better.
It's a better team. Yeah.
Just so much, because that World Cup is also good for, like, player growth, not even just for, like, European recognition and transfer, but also just player growth as well.
And playing at that national team level. And it's an extended period of time that they get to play at the national team level. Because they, right now, without playing in the World Cup, they only get the windows to play against, really not even, it's all these friendlies that they're playing.
Yeah.
So when they get to play at this high level against the best teams in the world, but best players in the world, I don't know, I still think club teams are better than national teams. That's my opinion. But I don't know. I think it brings another level to their game. That's why all the guys that play for the national teams are considered the better players in the world, because, they're playing at the highest level you can possibly play at. So,
the future definitely looks bright for U.S. soccer, and looking ahead to the next World Cup qualifying, and should really be able to see some young stars develop there.